The new Parkway Theater, where good food, diverse entertainment, and community create a place for everyone. For showtimes and special events, check out www.thenewparkway.com.
You are listening to High School 510, where sports and comedy bring pain and culture.
Is the Warriors championship window closing?
Yes. There's no way they could come back from losing KD, move into a new stadium. You don't see anybody that looks like you. It's going to be kind of hard to
it's gonna be a lot
be the spectacle. Like, oh, look at those Negroes play. That's what it looks like when they go to San Francisco. I don't think they're going to win anything in San Francisco, hence why they moved to Oakland.
It's going to be a lot quieter. And a lot of people
I'm
don't
not mad at
realize
that either.
When you move to a place and think about who now in the population is.
As long as they got the niggas of Southeast Asia, my Filipino brethren, well, they gonna be fine.
Those tickets are so expensive.
The Filipinos know how to work and make that bread, bro.
No, they not.
They gonna be in there. They gonna be in there screaming the N-word with the lack of niggas in there. But it's gonna be tight.
No, but the thing
Shout out my
is,
Filipino
those tickets
brethren
gonna be so
sponsorship.
expensive. Kyrie Irving and Durant contract alone was $300 million total. So it's already held this way. It's only $700 million off $1 billion just between two players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of money being thrown out. No,
it was a big free agency.
Kelly Oubre signed a 2-year, $30 million contract. By NBA standards, he's poor.
Yeah, he is. After balling out the way he did last
He didn't ball
season.
out. He deserves to be poorer than that.
End of last season, he balled out. He was productive.
He was on a weak ass team just shooting the ball every time he got it.
Exactly.
You can't be fooled by stats in the NBA.
Fantasy-wise, he was
Fantasy-wise, he was great. You can't be fooled by stats. And NBA stats will blow you off.
All right, Rod, what's your take on the KD leaving the Warriors, though, man? I know you're an avid Warriors fan. KD went to the Nets. That is the big shakeup in basketball.
Wait, before you answer that, were you one of the Warrior fans that thought he was staying?
I was, yeah. I did think he was staying.
Because I used to laugh. Like our friend Tim, how many times did I tell Tim? How many times I told you after he signed, he's gone in 2 years?
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sold on him being here. I was hoping. I had a lot of hope.
Oh,
And it made sense. I'm like, you had a big contract. You stay on the championship team. Like, open up a new stadium. It was all going the right way. So I was shocked. But I get it, too. You know, he wants to prove he can do it without being on a superstar team, you know, like a mega team.
Yeah.
And I knew he wasn't going to the Knicks. I'm like, that just doesn't make any type of sense.
Yeah, no, I said he couldn't go to the
You
Knicks.
just want to be whack, you know. That just makes me believe, too, that, you know, he's not all the way, I don't know, confident in himself. Like, something's missing. So I feel like he needs to prove something. You know, I'm like, you got rings. He's been to the finals before, Western Conference Finals. I mean, scoring champion, finals MVP. What else you got to prove? So,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, I knew when he first got to the Warriors when Draymond told him not to take the shot, and he took the shot and missed, and he got on and he wasn't going to be there for long.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a superstar. You don't want me to take the shot? It's not your place. The place is for Steph or Clay to take it. I knew then the way he was looking was like, I like the cohesiveness, but I can't be. That was the first year.
It was never his team.
He was never really a part of the team. He was just the closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The closer.
I knew when he signed that contract that he was going to be gone. As soon as he won this couple of titles, he was gone.
He had that option.
I knew it. As soon as he signed it, he was gone. And I told you, this was a rental. This was a rental because he needed them as much as they needed him. They needed each other. And I knew that, like, he just needed to get the monkey off his back and not having no title. He didn't want the basketball because the fans and players and everybody make a big deal about having titles. Unlike like baseball, Mike Trout's the best player in baseball, and he don't have to sniff the playoffs because he's on a shitty team.
That's true.
Right? But we know he's the best player, and everyone still says that he might be the greatest of all time. That's all they keep talking about. And you don't have to win a title. Everyone's saying, you know, and people say, oh, I wish I seen this player play on the playoffs, but he might not make it. Tony Gwynn, best hitter ever. People still talk about that to this day. Never won a title. But basketball, for some reason, we hang our hat on, like, you got to be able to guide your team. Because I guess one player makes a big deal. So I think he just used the words to get that out the way. And after that, now he's going to chase the scoring title. Which he's not going to get, but he's going to chase it. the all-time scoring title.
Do you think it was
Like the most
ill-
points in a game.
ever?
Most points ever.
Okay.
He's
Do you
chasing
think it was
Kareem.
ill-advised
Okay,
for
that
him to
makes
go
sense.
to Brooklyn and team up? I understand why he went to Brooklyn. He couldn't go to New York. The Knicks are a whole other entity.
They've been doing. They got some good people in charge there.
The Knicks.
Now they got David Fizdale. They got a good coach.
Yeah,
And
they got a good coach.
They still got the worst owner. At
Yes,
least one of the
exactly. I'm like, you
idiot
can't change that. You
owners.
can't trade your owner.
But he actually hired a great general manager. Other than him fighting with Charles Oakley at a game, the owner, the general
Oakley's
manager,
banned, right? He has like a lifetime
and
ban.
kicking people
general
out
manager's
of
making some decent moves.
Kicking
Porzingis
people-
trade was good.
kicking people out of a show that he was performing
Kicking
on, like
people
a
out of
beach
a show
festival.
at a music festival.
Yeah,
that looked like 35 people was at.
there was like 7 people at the stage. He's like, "Why you holding that sign up? What, you think it's funny? You making fun of me? Get him out of here!
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here!
If he leaves and the people leave with him, ain't gonna be nobody here.
You gonna have 2 people watching you now. It's like, dude,
Get the people out of the music festival.
at least you got people in front of you right
Bad
now.
ownership. But they said that him and Kyrie were talking about it for a whole year.
Yeah,
They
I
already
guess-
knew he was gone.
I don't know why you'd want to play with Kyrie. Number
Exactly.
one, I understand why he didn't go to New York because he could.
I don't understand either.
KD would not have been able to survive in New York with the way his issue with media and being perceived. It would have been bad. Brooklyn's that's a very well strategized decision. It's New York, but it's not New York, right? And the expectations are you're gonna make this team better already. Even if you don't win anything, nobody's gonna be like mad because it's still Brooklyn, it's still the Nets. Versus if you get them relevant and win something, then your legacy is cemented forever, right? Mm-hmm. But to choose Kyrie to play with is where I think he might not realize what he's getting himself into.
I think they got
Exactly.
along really well when they played on the Olympic team.
Mm-hmm.
And they got along really well. You know, he's a millennial. I'm sorry for you millennials in the room. Aaron, how old are you?
I'm 34.
God damn it. So I'm the only non-millennial in this room. Hate to say it.
He's the
You know,
only old.
I'm the only Generation.
He's the only one to witness
Clint
Arthur
Eastwood.
Ashe live.
He saw. Hey,
I'm the
when
only
you saw-
Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah, when you saw him playing at the Compton tennis course, Aaron.
Man, I'm the
what was it
only
like?
one. I'm the only one to see him. Shit, I was old then. I was like, damn, well, I saw him and then took my woman afterwards. Added her to the list. No, but
She
I
was
think,
number 99.
yeah.
That makes me love the Olympic team even more. Like that experience, like all of them. I feel like a lot of them, LeBron, like Wade,
They got close
talked
together.
about. Yeah, got build bonds and just communicated, and a lot happened in those. Like I feel like in those events. So
I mean, I think, I think they did. They really bonded. Yeah, that whole Olympic team was really
Right.
close. Especially because, you know, they stayed in that 5-star. They stayed in that 5-star boat. They stayed in that 5-star boat while everybody else was, all the other Olympics were some shitty ass food
In the Olympic
had
City.
sex with each other. And
Hey man, the NBA players probably calling their own special group or
except for
something.
boy Ryan Lochte, though. He was busy being racist and being stupid.
And
But
getting
the rest of
arrested.
them- the rest of us living poor. They bonded well on that boat.
Well, what was the TV show, the reality show I thought about last time? I said if Ryan Lochte, Jock Peterson, and who was
that's fucked
who
up,
was the other person? Klay Thompson, all like lived together, like did like a reality show. Like how interesting would that show be?
It would definitely be boring, and you would need someone.
There would be
with, like,
hijinks.
You need someone to be in the house with them that has full credentials for hanging around special needs people.
Draymond would be great.
You need someone
you
that
have an aide.
you
following
need,
around.
you need an aide. You'll need a sensory room. With that group, you might need you might need to make sure you have a counselor there, and people are properly certified for restraining. For when someone gets censored by get triggered by something. Flashing lights, loud noise. You also need a set of headphones on the wall for those people too. I mean, but this isn't like the UFC fighters. We're talking about people who were born this way. All right, we're talking about the special people.
Shout out.
They don't come from bad parents like a lot of UFC.
I think Ryan Lochte comes from a bad. I think Ryan Lochte is a bad person.
I think Ryan Lochte just got some things that's not connected in his head. There's some things not firing.
He can swim though.
He can
Boy
swim.
can swim.
That's what they told the boy. They taught him one stroke, and they said, "Listen, you just do this the rest of your life, and you be able to live independently." That's the words they use, independently. That's probably his word. Now, I'm gonna be independent when I get older. If I do this stroke, then I'm gonna go in the gas station and act a fool, because I'm special. You know, it's like that episode of where we find out on Family Guy that the dad was special, so he just started taking advantage and going in like the women's restroom. That's Ryan Lochte.
That is Ryan Lochte. That was Family Guy? Which dad?
That's Family Guy. Peter. He's special.
Oh, Peter did that.
Peter's
yeah,
special.
okay,
Remember, because he's special, he had to eat soup. They made him wear the water things on his arm, the floaties on his arm when he eats soup. He's like, I don't understand why I gotta wear these floaties. I'm just eating soup. And then all of a sudden he's drowning in his own soup. That's Jock Peterson. He might drown into soup. Like they give all the attention to his brother, but I think his brother might got a little more sense than him. Jock Peterson, like Dave Roberts realized now, like I get 30 home runs out of him if I just put him up there and just tell him swing. Swing. You can't play the outfield, swing. Anyway, I'm taking us away from basketball for ages. Taking it back away from.
Well, I have a question. You say that you're more for the NBA.
Yeah, I'm a fan of competition.
You're a fan.
I grew up a Laker fan. I'm a little bit of a Laker fan, but I really don't give a damn if they lose.
Really?
They can lose every game.
You don't like this super team that they have?
No. I mean, I don't mind it. I'm happy Kawhi Leonard didn't sign there because it would have made me hate the NBA.
Okay.
I hated when Durant went to the Warriors. That really pissed me off. That's what made me. And I liked Durant as a person before that. You know, I remember he won the MVP and he's crying. You know, and his mama there, and she had her hair done that time. And it was looking smooth, you know, and looking real good, which I don't know where she got because she must have went somewhere outside of Oklahoma to get her hair done because there's no way she could get it done. The only thing in Oklahoma is that footloose time when they can't dance. So I don't know where Durant mama got that done at, but she was looking good. Her hair was jamming that day, so she must have drove over to like Wichita or Texas or something. But anyway, she had her hair done. Must have the AC on high, keep her from sweating it out too. But she was looking good. She probably was crying.
A little towel on the side.
Probably had a towel. Probably sleeping with her hand in her next on her ear and shit.
Yeah.
You know, just like falling over and shit, but catching her. So I got five sisters. I always say I'm a third.
Optometry, you got that one where you just rest.
I got 5 sisters, and I've seen them sleep after they get their hair done, and there's a lot in the bed with that hand resting up. Like they on the phone or some shit, holding the phone in their ear. And so Durant mama must have been doing that on the drive up. But she looked good in there, and that was a great speech. That was a great speech. I really got in touch with Durant.
Shout out to Durant's mom.
And so I really was enjoying my man Kevin Durant. And then when he left Oklahoma to sign with the Warriors, I was pissed. And I've never been so pissed in my life for several reasons. I told Jared my reasons why. One, I wanted to see the Warrior team. They had a nice core that came up together. I wanted to see them show what the heart of the champion was, right? Yeah. But usually most championship teams that have a little run, like the Lakers with Magic, Lakers with Kobe, Magic was a little different because he that AIDS virus he did obtain, said it like he didn't know where he got it from.
Right.
But like, you know, the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq, you see a decrease every year. Like even when the Lakers won 3 in a row, each year that team got worse. And so you saw the heart of their championship. You saw it come out for them to dig deep and win, right? Like, and you saw it with other teams. But I wanted to see the Warriors do that because I wanted to see like what they were made of. It was good. And then they signed Kevin Durant. Especially, I want to see how they rebounded after losing, after winning all 73 games. Yeah. And I was like, I think they'll rebound well. You know, this and that. I wanted to see it. But then Kevin Durant comes in and just ruins that shit. And he's, and I was just like, I like the NBA to be spread out. When I grew up, I loved watching like teams like Milwaukee back in the day. They had like 2 players from Inglewood. They were never all-stars, but they always averaged like 16, 17 points, always went to the playoffs, always went around. And it was just nice to see those teams. Mm-hmm. And when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, exactly. Once that happened, when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, I was just upset. And I was like, dude, where's the balance? Where's the competitive balance? He made it. I couldn't even watch the regular season that first year. It was a foregone conclusion.
Whoa!
So I was happy.
Hey, you with the afro! Give it a rest! Beat it! Put the music back on!
See, I got an opposite take as you, Aaron. See, I'm more on the play. I'm on the side of the game. Yeah. So, like, for me, even like, what I always say to you, Jared, when we talk about NFL and the contracts, what do I say?
You say you like them to be low so that they'll really compete.
Yes, keep them hungry. I wish the NBA didn't have guaranteed contracts. If I was running the motherfuckers, I'd do the same exact thing. Because if I'm running a business, NCAA is the smartest business in the world. I'm going to start this job where I don't pay my employees. I don't pay them nothing, and I get all the money.
I know, right?
And I'm not pro-enterprise. Trust me, I'm not pro-enterprise. But I just think the sports are better when players are hungry. Basketball ain't as hungry. And that's why, like, You know, it's funny because like you'll watch some games and it'll be important to the players. Like usually Christmas Day games are important to the players, right?
Yeah.
So like when I saw the Lakers play the Warriors, that game was important to even the Warriors, that one, right? Mm-hmm. But then when I saw like the Warriors lose to somebody shitty like a few days later, it's like they didn't care about that game. It wasn't nationally televised. You know, I mean, players talk about it.
Yeah.
Kenny Smith talked about that. He talked about, look, there were times when we knew we had a good team, so management would fly us into certain cities the day of the game so we wouldn't screw around and party because they know we wouldn't take that team seriously. And we would, but then there were days that they were like, we knew we had a good, or we had a bad team. Those go ahead and just celebrate us, and we'll fly in the day before so we can party a little bit, play. But then when the years we had a good team, like if there's another good team, we'll show up for that game.
Well, everybody should have been like Michael Jordan then. Party the day before, get on a jet, drunk, call it a flu game, and ball out.
Well, he also was a guy that played 2 rounds of golf before every game, and he just had unlimited energy. There's not many people, and he also took the shit every game seriously and every practice seriously. And the problem is now we're getting to our stage where players are more, and I see it within my niece who plays. She's on a traveling AAU team. She's good. She plays for O'Dowd, your alma mater, right? She's good. She's getting scholarship offers, but she takes it seriously, right? But I've been around enough AAU to see that you are getting players that are more coddled now, right? Yeah. Like they're getting taken around. And now those players are all in the NBA. So they're more coddled and they're not taking it seriously until we get to a certain part of their career, things like that. Yeah. So that's why I just say, hey, I wish basketball had football-like level. We'll see. Then every game I watch, I'll be enjoying it.
So it's the AAU's fault.
Oh, it all stems there, yes.
Okay, we can agree on that.
We can all start there.
Feel the AAU.
I won't even go into it because I can speak for hours, but yeah.
Okay.
And then, you know what made me mad? Is that the person, like when Durant left, the person who always get the most shit and never complain, but he keeps getting shit is Russell Westbrook. Like everyone just hates on him. Like people don't want to play with him.
Well, they're gonna see what happens when KD plays with Kyrie if they're more successful than him and Westbrook, because him and Westbrook were
a successful combination.
And they were one game. Really, they had 3 games just to win one more.
Had 3 games they could win.
They also had KD. It wasn't like it was just them two. You know, it was like he was off the bench as a 6 man. It was like KD. That was KD's team.
That was KD.
And then Westbrook kind of came on.
Here's what it is.
KD put him on, and then Harden was coming off the bench.
KD still needs the Warriors to be able to play that role where he basically was able to elevate himself to be the best player on the best team in basketball, because the best players that he was also playing with, some of the best players, which is you could say is unfair or whatnot, played I would say a complementary style to allow him to maximize his abilities.
Mm-hmm. But he also helped them out too.
He helped them out because they didn't have to grind. Yeah, no, I get that. I agree.
It was a win-win situation.
I agree, but KD going to any other situation, because Clay and Steph at the time were still kind of young and lovable, and they weren't given that same superstar status or that iconship of some other players who are less successful than them, but just like carry a name that is more of a me type brand and personality. Mm-hmm. So like for KD to go to a team where they're playing team ball, you got unselfish players that play just like an open style, like that allowed KD to like be the best player he could be, because then it's like he can take over when he wants to, or he can just cruise and just like still put up crazy numbers and they just win like hands down easily, like it's laughable, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll see him now not being on the Warriors. Like in the finals, he took over and it was
easy
dope.
for you to take
over. Easy, and I was like,
that's around you.
But it was like, hey man, like you took over and showed why you're the best player on the team and arguably the best player in the league, because you were able to just show it in the finals and the biggest stage, most stakes on the line. But you did it with a team that allowed you to be able to do that. I don't know if he's going to find another combination of players in a team that's going to allow him to maximize his abilities to be that. I think it's going to look a lot like what was happening this year when Steph was out, and Clay's not great at creating on his own. Durant's not great at moving the ball away from himself and passing it all the time. So like that team struggled with wins and to score, because it was KD a lot of times backing somebody down, doing little turnaround fadeaways. It's stagnant basketball.
You don't think he's happy doing that? I think he's happy doing that.
No, I think he's going to realize I think it was just too easy, and he wanted to extend his validation, because he realized, like you said, he went to a championship caliber team.
He went to a championship team.
And took an easy way out to some degree. So now
he turned him into a dynasty, though. I give him that.
I don't know if it's really a dynasty though.
Those days are over now.
Yeah.
There is no more. Sean Levison's gone. Iguodala's gone. The bench is gone.
I agree. I agree
Quentin Cook
with.
is gone, which helped the Warriors.
Yeah. They traded Damian Jones. I kind of liked his game.
Oh, the dude that married the girl that used to sing from out here.
I don't know.
I'm thinking Damon Jones that played for the Cleveland
Oh
Cavaliers.
yeah, no,
That week fool.
not
The one.
Him and his non-singing wife.
The one that.
Keisha Cole. That's
Keisha
what it
Cole.
was.
That's
Yeah.
it.
The one that J.R. Smith threw soup on last year.
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
He had a disagreement with him, and they threw soup on him in the locker room. That's 2 years ago, actually.
Wow.
Was
Hey.
he drunk?
I don't know.
Did he have a half-time Henny? Was he hanging around
I
Ron
have
Artest?
no idea what that fool was on. But my thing is, I think the Warriors dynasty is probably over.
No.
But I still think they have potentially another. We'll see about Clay's injury, but they have another like 3 to 4 years of being a relevant playoff team that could make a deep run. Whereas like you expect them. Well, this year's transitional because Klay Thompson's out for most of it, but he'll be back hopefully sometime after the All-Star break, right? That squad.
He's supposed to be back, in February after All-Star. But even if he comes back 100%, Jared, I don't know, man.
The way they
the
play.
West got too good. Like the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard's team now is better than the team he was on last year. Right? So, like, and they're in the same division now. It's like the Lakers are better than they were last year by getting rid of all them weak fools. Thank God.
On paper.
On paper.
On paper.
On paper. If they stay healthy, they're a better team than they were last year, though.
Yeah.
And so
We're playing FIFA.
Yeah.
Trying to see what their chemistry's got to be better.
I don't know about the deep run. To me, Portland right now look just as good. Right now, the Warriors look like Portland. They got two undersized guards since Clay come back, and they just look like Portland. I just see them as being Portland right now. They're where Portland is. Portland is a good team that keeps winning, so they're not going to get a fucking good draft pick.
Yeah.
They're not going to get they got to get lucky in the draft, which hasn't happened, which is hard. But they're good enough. They're going to fill the stadium. They're going to have a good revenue. They're going to have this, but it's just, you don't see the free agent pouring into it. I mean, Willie Cauley-Stein.
Well, I think that was a decent.
It's not a bad signing, but
yeah.
it's not anything to call home about.
They're gonna get an athletic big that can
can't score, but that can run and
screen and roll.
tip change.
That fits well in the offense too.
That's good, 'cause
that's like a McGee or that's like a Bogut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a very low end.
Well, he's athletic enough to play decent defense. He's not a great shot blocker, but excuse me,
He runs
but
the floor.
But can
He
do
can
it.
run
But
the floor.
he can run the floor, get in the open court, and the one thing that Clay and Steph and those dudes need to do is they use the 3-point line to threaten their opponents, but sometimes they are overly dependent when their opponents start overplaying them on those 3-point lines. You just gotta go by them and pull up in the mid range more consistently, just on a regular basis. Just not even go all the way to the rim. Just pull up that little 18-footer. This is my shot. It is what it is. With Cauley-Stein there, who's somebody that they can then do that with. And if they flash too hard, they can just throw the lob again, which they didn't do as much last year.
I'm gonna tell you this:
If they can do that, then I think they'll be all
If
right.
this is 1992, Willie Cauley-Stein will be working at that car wash down the street.
He'll be working at the Foster Freeze.
He'll be working at the Foster Freeze, or maybe if this was the 80s, he'll be working at Orange Julius or Hot Dog on a Stick.
Dang, you don't like him like that?
No, he ain't bad. It's just that he ain't great.
Aaron, what you have to realize about Aaron is that Aaron is a elitist snob when it comes to basketball.
I am.
And he basically talks bad about any player in the league that isn't of a certain.
You ain't gotta be great. But you can't. You know what it is? It's just that people like Willie Cauley-Stein, to hear Jared sit here talk about him. Like when you showed Jared that video for Summer League, right? And he knew exactly who the fucker was. And I'm like, dude, you should know his name. His mama should be the only one to know that dude's name. The fact that you didn't know it, Aaron, that was perfect. Rod didn't know it, perfect. But Jared knew the dude's name. And the problem is now with basketball, we let these fools go through AAU, they're athletic, they're over-athletic, they don't have skill, though.
Yeah.
And then they go to a team like John Calipari who don't know how to teach skill. He's basically that teacher who teaches honors English, but he don't know shit about teaching, but they all love him because he's also the coach of the academic decathlon, and he got good credit so he can rent the van and drive him around. That's who John Calipari is, right? He can't teach him anything, but I could take you and we're gonna have a good time. Like I rented this house, a couple of my academic decathlon team, they lost their virginity. These are kids who ain't supposed to be getting something until they get to college. But they got it early thanks to me. That's who John Calipari is. So then we overhype someone like Willie Cauley-Stein, and we sit here And it's not that. He's a very serviceable NBA player. Yeah. The problem is now we take serviceable and we say all these great qualities on all these things he brings to the game. And I like to focus on the shit that he can't do. Yeah. Because he can't shoot. I don't think the motherfucker know what it means to have follow through. He got goddamn PPP tattooed on his forehead. Problem is nowadays we take people like Willie Cauley-Stein and we convince ourselves that he was a great, just like someone told me, man, Dwayne Dedmon, man, whoever signed him, it's going to be, thank you, exactly, look like that. I didn't know who this fucker was. I started looking it up. And then I'm like, wait, and then he was like the third person. I said, man, I'm hoping we get Dwayne Dedmon. Man, I heard Boston Celtics fan, I hope we get Dwayne Dedmon. I looked the fool up, he was in Atlanta, didn't really do much, but everyone's hyped. He signed with, guess who he replaced? Willie Cauley-Stein and they signed him to a lot of money. Guess who he replaced? Willie Cauley-Stein and they signed him to a lot of money. I'm like, no, he's just a serviceable NBA player we shouldn't be talking about. Like Willie Cauley-Stein. What did I say, Sacramento?
Where the hell did he sign with, nigga?
I didn't say? Rob don't know about this basketball. All right, Rob.
Is that just me? Or is
I'm going to go ahead.
I think I filled in the blank.
Like, I was in LA where, like, people that lived next to me were bigger Bulls fans or big, and this before Jordan won. This before he won. Like, LA's a city.
This is when you were watching Arthur Ashe.
Yeah, it's back when I was watching Arthur Ashe and Serena and Richard Williams. I watched him conceive his daughters. He actually invited me. That was his bachelor party. And speaking of Richard Williams, man, you still owe me money for all them beads. I paid for them beads. I just lost a swap meet. I didn't know your daughter had that many. Those daughters were gonna wear that many beads in their head. I'll be waiting on that check. That check for $9. Anyway,
he's in the Hall of Fame now.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying is this: is that when you come, like when you're in a, like when I first moved up here was when I realized, wow, this. My brother-in-law told me about that. Dude, you're moving to a town where everyone's gonna root hard for the local teams, right? You're not used to that. And so when I moved up here, I started realizing, damn, Laker fans are starting to become that way now. Because they starting to talk to, like last year.
They got
like,
Jerry West.
I got a friend still arguing with me about, like, the Lakers trading Brandon Ingram. And I'm like, he was tradable. I got a friend arguing with me about the Lakers trading Jason Hart. And I told him I would have traded Jason Hart for a glass of water from Flint, Michigan. And I would have been sitting there drinking it with my all my hair falling out, and still think I got the better of the deal. Still sipping on this water from Flint, Michigan, I got the better of this deal. I know what it's doing to me, but I got the better of this deal. They still arguing with me. So Laker fans are starting to become that way. People in LA are starting, but they weren't that way before. So when I moved up here, and I was like I first moved up here, and you wouldn't believe how many fools was telling me how good Keith Mr. Jennings was. I'm like, oh.
He didn't just say that.
I said it, Jared. Keith Mr. Jennings, who actually hung around his brother.
Was this a Warrior player?
Yeah. You remember Keith Mr. Jennings? Anybody remember Keith Mr. Jennings? Am I that old? Anybody remember Rick Barry?
Yeah.
Anybody remember Rick Barry had an illegitimate kid? There's a lot of people in the NBA getting overpaid. I wish the NBA had NFL salaries out, guaranteed none of them, cut them all.
So back to my point. Is that
they'll be pushing up. They'll be whipping a plow mule. It goes up to me.
This is what I feel like Aaron is like when you start talking about basketball. He's like that nigga Steven.
This nigga up on that name.
And he just mad at all times. You could put any nigga up on that name, and if it ain't a top 15 player, top 10, even a top 10 player,
there's some role players that play well for their role.
And that's what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to get to is that the Warriors are going to a different style. They're not top heavy. They're trying to be more of a balanced skill sets that they can utilize through different players.
I'm glad they're doing that after having Durant for 3 years.
Now, what I also will say is,
I got a burp.
Excuse me. I'll edit that out. I'm most worried about, and I do understand that there has been a decline in abilities for Sean Livingston and Andre Iguodala, but I feel that's the biggest. Those two players were two players that gave the Warriors the most flexibility throughout their time here. They did age here, so we have to take that into consideration. Right. But those two players are the players that I hate to see go because of what they brought to the team with their versatility, their length, their athleticism on the perimeter, defensively, and even capability offensively wise, as being like unselfish but smart players, you know. And granted, I think the Warriors need to adapt and move on. But like I feel like they're gonna feel that that change. But I also feel like those two players are also slowly declining. So maybe it's the right time to cut bait with both of them. I thought maybe keeping one of them would have been good, but money wise and keeping the numbers relative, like it is what it is. So I think that's gonna be an interesting transition to see who are like the players who take over that lead as the bench players, the role players. Because those guys were older and they were leaders and they were able to come. They set the example of their role. Like it's like. Who's going to do that now on the Warriors? And that'll be interesting to see.
I feel like that's where coaching comes into play too. We don't really see
how good
Curry is. If we're like a 5th or 6th seed, I feel like we'll be nice. That shows great coaching.
I think I'll be a 6th seed.
Do you have faith in Kerr as a coach?
I do. I feel like
we'll see.
Now we can compare him to Mark Jackson now. Now we can be like, all right, if he does well with this team and takes them further than Mark Jackson did, I feel like now it's even. So I feel like, yeah.
Can we talk about how like he was hurt first championship? He wasn't Kerr. He had the back issues. He wasn't there.
No, that was the second one.
That was the second one?
Yeah, that was the second one.
Regardless of it, I still don't think he's a good coach.
Ooh.
I think
he's a good office manager.
Yes, he's a good manager.
He learned that from Phil Jackson.
I don't think he knows really how to coach. The adjustments.
Yeah.
It's just not there.
I don't think he has, yeah.
I know he gives free will to the players to do what they do, but at the same time, ask Steph not to take that 3 and dribble in and take the mid range.
Yeah. Create the offense that allows that to be done a little more.
If you're 100% in the mid range and you're shooting 30% from the field, 3, take the mid range shot. Why would you?
Yeah, those guys can hit those mid-range jumpers really well. They're good. You can create an offense to get them shots inside the three-point line all the time.
I feel like he's a good X's and O's coach. I just feel like where he falls short is managing big personalities. So I think like Draymond runs over him. Like Draymond's like that kid that gets kicked out of class and then comes right back in and punks you. He does that to him. I feel like KD did that to him. Like he can't talk to KD. He had a hard time juggling like the superstar personalities. So I feel like we won a lot KD. With the what are you saying?
No, keep going. I was saying without KD.
Yeah. I feel like our system that he had, I mean, it was more free flowing than Mark Jackson. He had more offense, more passing the ball. I feel like our 3-pointers are what won us. That was our identity. That's what got us like championships. Without that, what else did we have? So
it was
a little excessive at times.
Yeah, it was a little excessive. But if you look at young Curry,
like live and die by it.
Curry when he was younger, he would take that mid-range shot. That I don't like the Steph Curry of new because all you do is shoot 3. Now you get the AAU players who only want to shoot 3s. My son, but you can't shoot 3s. You're like maybe 5% from 3, but you taking this 3
taking it every time.
Every time. Then you want to drive to the basket. Okay, you're 100% at the basket. Okay, well step back, take this nice mid-range. My coach, when I was in high school, used to give out steak dinners for breaking ankles.
Wait.
Listen.
With jukes or
no.
Going after taking out the
I was an
ankles?
offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, mostly offense. And we did this thing called the clip and roll. So off the line,
I know what that is.
You clip them, which you put their leg inside of your thigh and knee, and you put your elbow on there, and then you roll. It's a legal move, but he said anybody who does it, gets a steak dinner. Now, he didn't say about the breaking ankle. The guy who did it broke a kid's ankle. His ankle was just flopping and moving off, and everybody's crying. He's like, I get that steak dinner, don't I? I was like, he's crazy. You just broke somebody's ankle and potentially killed their career, and you don't care about them. You just cared about the steak dinner.
That was like when Mark Schlereth threw with Denver Broncos when they had that great deep offensive line. Yeah. Remember, they would do a lot of the chip blocking. Yeah. He hated it, but he said he did it because he was told to do it. It's football. Football is like the military. I love football.
But in basketball, you would hate to see that. Football, it's a man, forget you. It's like UFC fighting. That's why if you don't like it, then you don't like the fight.
But Mark Schlereth used to say he used to tell the lineman before the game started, look, I'm gonna hit you as soon as the ball hike at your knees. There's a few plays we got in, and that's how I have to hit you. I'm sorry, I don't. This is not. I don't care. I'm not trying to kill your career.
Yeah.
But this is what I got to do.
Yeah, well, my coach is the same way. He's ball your fist up and punch him in the stomach.
Man, your coach is hardcore. You know what? I wish your coach
He's a
was my
UFC
basketball
50 coach.
Well, no, my coach
My
grew up.
UFC coach.
My coach grew up in that era where it was
Okay, yeah. That's
hard
when-
nose.
That's when, he grew up in the era where he taught them to put the
Deacon
crown of your
Jones.
helmet into their chest. Am
Well,
I right? Did he ever
test
tell
if
you?
they're wearing the cup.
Going back to he had PPP Wally Steins, whatever his name is. I played a dude who had 666 written on his helmet, and he wore the number 66. All game, my foot was up his butt.
Yeah.
And I, in Jesus' name, that's what I kept putting him on his back and just kept saying it to him.
Love, peace, education, tolerance of others, Jesus.
That's how we do it in the South right there, Jared. That's how we do it in the South.
All right. Here's the deal. Which team would you take in NBA Jam right now? Straight up, everyone call
Jam with just 2 players?
NBA Jam. Which,
Healthy or just
NBA, healthy,
NBA Jam rules.
right now. What team?
NBA Jam rules.
Western Conference NBA Jam right now. Who would you take?
Houston. Even though I'm not a Houston fan.
Okay, right. Who would you take?
I'm going with the Warriors, man.
Going Warriors. Aaron, who would you take?
It's only 2v2.
Lakers. See, you talking about NBA Jam?
That's what I'm saying. Why would you take the Warriors?
Well, with Curry, you can shoot full court shots.
Yeah, but the
in
fun-
NBA Jam and make
the
them.
fun of NBA
Curry
Jam
and
is
play.
because Duncan-
You can shoot from anywhere when you get the ball, and they're gonna make it every time.
Fun in NBA Jam.
It is, but I'm trying to win. So this is how we got rings. Shooting threes from anywhere.
No,
So they'll be
we
shooting full
said
court
NBA
threes.
Jams. I'm like, dude, you know what?
I guess
That is
I'll be the
fun.
one who would take the Clippers. I would take Kawhi and Paul George.
You can't play defense
some
in NBA
mean
Jams.
defense. Oh, you could shove motherfuckers over in NBA Jam.
Yeah,
you just gotta line up
Then
right in
if
front
that's
of
the
them.
case, I would
You gotta manage your
wherever
turbo
Zach
correctly.
Randolph is and Kendrick Perkins. If we talking about shoving, that's all I want. And maybe Steven Jackson as my
Because
backup.
I want Ron Artest, Steven Jackson. From
Ron Artest,
that
Steven
would be a good
Jackson.
team. That's a good team right there. NBA Jam's what?
Elijah
99?
Wan Thorpe.
And I want Bill
2000.
Wallace's brother, who never played basketball, but he was serving up Fred Jones. That Malice of the Palace. So that's what I want.
Dude.
Serving him up.
He was hella big though, dude. That was fucked up.
Did you go to the?
I remember I saw Fred Jones get 2 piece, and I was like,
"Who
"Who
I said?" And I told you to
nigga?"
go to Fred Jones. Yeah, and that was high definition, dude. You just see him getting worked.
He's like, "Oh,
he was getting
Fred
hammered.
Jones ate him though. He ate it all right.
Yeah, because the crazy thing, he got up and was just fine, but he got. I was like, holy
What
shit.
happens when you have a concussion? You get up, you think everything's fine, but it shows what
But
happened
you
in the locker
knotted.
room.
He was knotted up.
Ben Wallace, dude. Yeah, Ben Wallace.
And then
got
the
him.
crazy thing was when your boy Jermaine O'Neal threw that sliding punch.
Oh, he hit that little dude. That was
He was sliding, he was
the
falling,
bagel
but he
dude.
fell into the punch. And I
Dude,
was,
he slid across the
like, dude, he might have
screen.
killed that dude.
Through all the way through him. He fell off his punch and he kept
So
sliding
Ryan,
past.
I was watching that live when that happened because I was old enough for then. I was paying for my own cable then, and so I was like 23 or 20. I think I was 24 when it happened. 24 or 25. And the funny thing is, my boy Marshawn called me. He's like, man, my boy Marshawn was like, man. They took the bad boys. The Pacers took the bad boys' names from them and their fans. He's like, they whipped up them and the
They
fans.
beat up everybody. Steven Jackson came out. He's on the Rich Eisen show talking about that. Talking about how.
Yeah, I love to hear Steve Jackson.
He's telling the story. He's like, man, I did that because that's my brother. It's like not even. It's not about who, but it was like just where. Like he's basically like once he went up in there, I was going with him. Not because I believed what he was doing was
No,
right.
but he
Like-
said first he was just gonna grab him
Yeah.
until someone threw a drink in his face while he was up there.
Yeah, and then he fucking
Then
mopped
enjoy
the
it.
fools up. But he said Ron Artest looked at him when they got into the locker room after everything got cleared down. He's like, "Do you think we'll get in trouble?"
That's my favorite
Steven
line.
Jackson was like, "Yes, fool."
It's great.
We like we had kicked out of the league.
Like, man, we like we had a job.
Yeah, he was just like, bro. I was thinking they
You think
wouldn't
we
let me
gonna
back
get
in
in
the
trouble?
league. Dude, that's hella funny.
I love my boy Ron Artest, Mr. Halftime Henny.
Hey,
Him and Lamar Odom.
we'll have to do a high score 5-0 NBA Jam tournament.
I want to do an NBA Jam, but the team. I want to do the players I will hang around off the court.
Oh well, you might have J.R. Smith and
That's a good question. Who would you hang out with?
Nick.
Off the court, who would be my starting five to hang out with off the court? See, Aaron, like I'm kind of, you know what? I like having a good time, but I like hanging around some foods that gotta get into shit sometimes. You know, when I was a younger me,
Dennis Rodman
I
is
hung
number
around
one.
like
Huh?
food.
Yeah, you go to the yoga studio and start stealing shit.
Some of the people I grew up with are in jail, so that tell you who I like to hang around. So I would have to definitely say, like, I probably would have hung around Zach Randolph.
The mob.
Yeah, Zach Randolph. Oh, Steven Jackson. I'm a big loyalty guy. Steven Jackson seems really smart, but he's also, he reminded me a lot of myself. He's from the hood, but very smart and very loyal. Mm-hmm. So Steven Jackson. Then my last person for that starting five would probably be Magic Johnson. because you know what,
He knows how to have a good time.
and he knows how to have a good time. I mean, I might get something that I might not be able to live with for the rest of my life, but at least he'll entertain me. He might start talking and sounding ignorant. My favorite Magic Johnson interview, he was on Roy Firestone when Roy Firestone had a show on NBA, down pups, down, and he said, I bought salads to the hoods. Now, it's kind of true. There was no place in LA to buy a salad. Like, go out and buy one. But I would say Magic Johnson, he was right. He did bring salad. He brought the first place that you could buy a salad. The problem is, you don't go out on an interview and say, I bought salads to the hood. And say it just like that. Some woman stopped me and said, thank you, Magic. You bought salads to the hoods. That's why I hang around Magic, too.
What should he say? I brought nutrition to the hood.
Yeah, you know what? I tried to bring more nutrition, places where we could just try to raise the level of health in the hood, into South Central LA. Because even though he brought salads to the hood, he also bought a movie theater that still got the old ass chairs. He also bought Starbucks. That ain't bringing nutrition to the hood.
I think a lot of things in this world were only a dream for Martin Luther King.
They weren't.
Not a one-term, but a two-term African-American president. And this is a terrible country. That was a dream for Martin Luther King.
There's white women dating black dudes in my church. There's white women dating some of these black dudes.
To Martin Luther King, that was just
Martin Luther King, that was his dream. He had to hide in the closet when he got with the big booty white woman. When we first started this podcast, the Big Three kind of divided this podcast.
Oh, the Big Three that was just started.
It just started. It was the first year when we first started the podcast, and it divided the 4 people on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised it lasted this long. I've never seen one match more than like a 2-minute clip. It's half court, so I'm like, all right, I can do this at 24. I'm like, what are these dudes doing out here? I'm surprised. Yeah, I feel like as far as from a business perspective, like Ice Cube did a great job in keeping it this long. But I'm still wondering, they just cut like 4 guys. Like, how do you get cut from the Big Three?
Yeah.
Like, what is the criteria for being cut?
They got Melvin Eli starring in the Big Three right now.
You don't have to do nothing.
Eli.
You just grab a rebound and shoot 3.
He didn't even play in the league now.
Dude.
How does Amari Stoudemire get cut?
They got your boy from the Warriors. What's his name? Patrick something? Remember that guy that was an Ivy League guy that the Warriors?
Oh, Patrick O'Brien?
Patrick O'Brien is starting in the Big Three now.
That's not good.
And he don't look like he in shape.
He knows his role.
Dude, all these fools don't look in shape. I seen a dude tear his Achilles on the first game. I was like, this is bad.
Oh, that was your boy, White Chocolate.
No. This season.
That was this year?
Dude.
Someone else was getting in the first game?
It was on at the Chili's I was at in Montana. And so I was like, oh,
Big
shit.
Three.
This dude just collapsed and he's like, dude. I was like, he tore his Achilles. He's done.
Who was it?
And they didn't have nobody else on the bench. So
the problem with it is that it also looks like the Big Three look like one of those things that, like, when you playing pickup at the park, like, hey man, I don't know if anybody over here is certified to help me if I get hurt. Like in pickup, you might have someone that like work at a hospital as a nurse.
Or somebody got a car.
Yeah, someone got a car.
Someone got that insurance. I got my car.
Like Big Three, I'm worried. Like, hey man, none of these people here are certified. Like I saw the trainer talking to working on somebody got like nicked up the other day, and I was like, she looked like she ain't really worked. She just looked like she might have had a job at the nurse office at the elementary school, passing out Band-Aids.
They got somebody who's certified to teach CPR and first aid.
That's what it means. Like she might got her CPR certification.
She's like, I lifeguarded for about 3 months. That's my background.
Somebody that gives flu shots.
Exactly.
I got my Walgreens flu shot certification.
Like we got a hospital social worker. They work at a hospital. Is that good enough? It's like, no, nigga. We need
this is the Big Three.
This is Big Three. We got old niggas past their prime getting hurt every day.
We got BD out here.
But they do also have players that have been like out of league for like maybe 1 or 2 years that nobody knew.
Catino Mobley,
which is crazy because he's the oldest guy in there and he's the one balling.
He's looking like Frederick Douglass.
He's killing it, and I'm like, not only did the dude look older than my dad, but he's the oldest person actually in the league. But he's my age, but he's the oldest person in the league. Mm-hmm. But he killing it.
He look like Storm's daddy.
He is killing it.
All salt, no pepper.
Lamar Odom. That's Will Bynum. Will Bynum was tight.
He got kicked.
He got kicked out the league.
I thought he just got what is it called when you're not active?
They deactivated him.
And now he kicked out the league.
Or he basically, yeah.
Lamar Odom or
Lamar
Odom, like
Odom.
4 people. Stoudemire,
Lamar Odom, Baron Davis, and somebody
Jermaine
else.
O'Neal.
Jermaine O'Neal.
But did they kick out the other ones too?
There's like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, there's basically not.
Jermaine O'Neal looked like a defensive lineman, though, man. His neck was hecka thick. He looked like he couldn't breathe.
He's getting big, man. He used to be super skinny and lean, and then he just got kind of this like pear shaped.
He looked like Big Baby.
Big
Big Baby is still in there, though.
Yeah, Big
No,
Baby.
did you see what happened to Big Baby?
No, I didn't.
So this fool Big Baby get called for a foul. I'm watching this shit on TV. It's only because I'm like Rob. You just happen to catch it when you turn to it,
Right.
and then you watch it. After a while, you gotta change the shit. So it's like man, something more gotta happen. This is like watching motherfuckers play at Mosswood Park right now.
Dude, they got a 4-point shot to try and make it interesting. I'm like, nigga, I ain't trying to face that.
Trying to.
Bruh, I got some of the best sleep I got in a while. Just like
Watching the big.
yeah,
Oh, remember in Seattle when
Seattle, I
you
put on the
big
big three, sat in the recliner,
He fell asleep because
That sounds about right.
He slept for a few hours, and it was hot as hell in the house. But I was like, how did you sleep this hot? Oh, he got the big 3 on. And so I'm watching it. Big Baby get called for a foul. Yells at the ref. That's not a foul. Goes off. Walks away, and it's still yelling, cursing. And I'm like, dude, do he realize these stadiums ain't full? Like, everybody's on one side. Like, you can hear every curse word. There's kids around. She warned him. She already gave him one technical and warned him. And he is just cursing even louder. And I'm like, this shit coming in through the TV like that. Like, I could tell the shit wasn't delayed. I'm like, oh, shit.
They couldn't beat that.
So then they cut. So then she teed him up again. She had to kick him out. This motherfucking Big Baby starts rounding up the crowd. They start cheering because they finally got some shit to watch. So they cheering, they yelling, right? He's rounding up the crowd. He goes into the stands. He takes off his shirt and is just walking through the stands, waving, throwing shit. And it's like 10 minutes of the Big Baby celebrating getting kicked out.
Oh, so this like WWE.
And Ice Cube's there with a smile on his face. It was like the most exciting shit that happened that day.
He's like, we needed something like this.
Big Baby getting kicked out was the most exciting shit happened.
Yeah. So this is just another drama.
Dude, I'm gonna just say the big 3 needs to go. My brother's like, "What? Don't even talk about it. Why do you talk about it? Every time you talk about it, you give more clicks and more interest than it deserves. If you don't talk about it, people will let it go." And I was like, "Yeah, but there's this thing called shit talking, and I don't mind talking shit about something that's whack, especially if it's out there." So yeah, big 3, get your shit together. Y'all need to have every recovering drug addict, every recovering injured player that has some type of personality during their playing days in your league as possible, because ain't shit else going on. Ain't nobody trying to watch some YMCA or 24-hour fitness half-court games. Ain't nobody trying to see dudes.
I would rather watch that than to watch
You know, the only way I'll watch it is if every game I can be in Vegas and I can do prop bets on who's going to get injured. You know what, Aaron, they need to start playing. You know, I'll watch the big 3 if they start playing the big 3 at Santa Ana racetracks in the middle of the grass. That's how they get me to watch big 3.
Change the climate.
Like, show me some horses racing around you that's probably gonna have to be put out of his misery on the racetrack, while one of these niggas is also getting put out of his misery.
You want to
his
Santa
basketball
Ana
misery.
racetrack though, not even the one up here. You want to Santa Ana.
The Santa Ana where all the horses
are.
Yeah, I want it at that racetrack.
You don't want it.
No, that's it.
Like, give me something to do while they shooting the other horse in the head.
Mm-hmm. No, watch the big 3 in between races.